Ever found yourself staring at your phone, unsure of what to text? We've all been there. The blank screen seems to mock us as we grapple with the perfect words to type. Whether it's a professional email to your boss, a casual message to a friend, or a flirty text to your crush, figuring out what to say can be a real dilemma. But why is this so important? Well, the way we communicate, especially through text, can significantly impact our relationships, both personal and professional. It's all about striking the right balance. Too formal, and you might come off as cold. Too casual, and you risk sounding disrespectful. And let's not even get started on the confusion emojis can create. That's why understanding the basics of texting etiquette is essential. Stay tuned as we delve into the do's and don'ts of texting. Scene script. Let's start with the do's in texting, shall we? Asterisk audio. Upbeat music fades in asterisk first and foremost. We need to understand the importance of keeping our messages concise and clear. In this modern era, time is of the essence, and no one really has the luxury to decipher cryptic messages. So, when you're texting, remember to keep it short and sweet. But don't sacrifice clarity for brevity. Make sure your message is easily comprehensible. Just imagine you're speaking to the person face to face. You wouldn't ramble on without getting to the point, right? The same principle applies to texting. Asterisk audio. Music fades out, typing sound effect fades in asterisk. Now let's talk grammar and spelling. Yes, we know it's just a text message, not an English essay. But trust me, proper grammar and spelling can make a world of difference in how your message is perceived. Typos and grammatical errors can lead to miscommunication and often give off an impression of carelessness. So take a few extra seconds to proofread before hitting the send button. And don't rely solely on autocorrect. It's not always your friend. Asterisk audio. Typing sound fades out, light chime sound fades in asterisk. Moving on to emojis and punctuations. Emojis can be fun and expressive, adding a touch of personality to your texts. They can help convey emotions and tones that can sometimes get lost in text. But remember, they are the garnish, not the main course. Use them sparingly and appropriately. As for punctuations, they are crucial in conveying the right tone. For instance, ending a sentence with a period might be grammatically correct, but in a text, it can come off as serious or even angry. So be mindful of your punctuation usage. Asterisk audio. Light chime sound fades out. Ticking clock sound effect fades in asterisk. Lastly, let's discuss the importance of responding in a timely manner. We all know how frustrating it is to be left on read or waiting for a reply for hours. It's just good manners to respond as soon as you can. But just as in real life, timing is everything. Don't feel pressured to respond immediately, especially if you need time to think about your response. But try not to leave the other person hanging for too long. Asterisk audio. Ticking clock sound fades out. Asterisk. In conclusion, texting is a skill, and like any other skill, it requires practice and mindfulness. It's about striking the right balance between being concise yet clear, casual yet correct, expressive yet appropriate, and timely yet thoughtful. Remember, clarity and promptness are key in texting. Asterisk audio. Soft, uplifting music fades in for conclusion asterisk. Now that we've covered the do's, it's time to tackle the don'ts in texting. Firstly, let's talk about language. Yes, texting is casual, and we all love to use our own unique lingo, but sometimes too much slang or too many abbreviations can leave the receiver scratching their head. What does IDK mean? BRB? BTW? If you don't want your messages to read like a secret code, try to limit your use of abbreviations. Remember, the goal of communication is understanding, not confusion. Also, keep in mind that tone can be easily misinterpreted in text. An innocent comment can seem sarcastic, a joke can be taken seriously, and an abbreviation can be misconstrued. So be mindful of your wording and, if necessary, use emojis to help convey your tone and intention. However, don't overdo it with the emojis either. You don't want your message to look like a comic strip. Next up, sensitive information. Should you send your social security number, bank details, or other sensitive information via text? The answer is a resounding no. Text can be easily intercepted, and you don't want your personal information falling into the wrong hands. If you need to share sensitive information, it's better to do so over a secure channel such as a phone call or encrypted email. Now let's talk about timing. Texting while driving? A big no-no. Not only is it illegal in many places, but it's also incredibly dangerous. And how about texting during a meeting, a dinner date, or a movie? It's not just impolite, it can also be disruptive and show a lack of respect for the person or people you're with. So try to be mindful of when and where you're texting. Finally, texting while emotional or angry. We've all been there. You're upset, you grab your phone, and you let your fingers do the talking. But texting in the heat of the moment can lead to messages you might regret later. It's easy to say things you don't mean when you're emotional, and once a text is sent, there's no taking it back. If you're upset, take a moment to cool down before you start typing. In conclusion, avoid too much slang and too many abbreviations. Don't send sensitive information via text. Be mindful of when and where you're texting, and never text while emotional or angry. It's all about respect for the person you're texting, for your personal information, and for your own emotions. So avoid these pitfalls to keep your texting game strong. Texting etiquette can vary depending on the scenario. Let's discuss a few common ones. In professional settings, it's crucial to maintain a level of formality. You'll want to steer clear of abbreviations, emojis, and excessive exclamation marks. It's not a chat with your friend, it's a conversation with your boss or a colleague. For example, instead of texting, "Hey, got 'em in," you might say, "Good afternoon. Do you have a moment to discuss the project?" Friendly chats, on the other hand, are a bit more relaxed. You can use casual language, abbreviations, and even throw in a few emojis if you like. But remember, respect is key. Avoid offensive jokes and always ask yourself if what you're about to send could be misconstrued. An example of a good text might be, "Hey, long time no talk. How have you been?" Romantic conversations can be a bit trickier. You want to show interest without coming off as too eager. Use emojis sparingly to add a bit of fun to the conversation, but don't overdo it. It's also important to respond in a timely manner, but don't feel obliged to reply immediately. It's okay to take your time. For instance, instead of texting, "Hey, I had a great time tonight. Want to go out again tomorrow?" you might say, "I really enjoyed our time together. Looking forward to seeing you again soon." When it comes to texting, context is everything. It's not just about what you say, but also how and when you say it. For example, texting in the middle of the night might be fine for a close friend, but it's definitely a no-go in a professional setting. In conclusion, whether you're texting a friend, a romantic interest, or a colleague, it's important to adjust your language and tone to match the context. Be mindful of the other person's feelings and expectations, and always strive to communicate clearly and respectfully. Remember, context is key when it comes to texting. Let's quickly recap what we've learned today. In our digital age, mastering the art of texting is crucial. We've explored the do's and don'ts, the yays and nays of texting. Remember, it's all about timing, tone, and content. Do send texts that are clear, concise, and considerate. Don't bombard someone with text after text, or use all caps. It's akin to shouting. Always remember to check for any typos before hitting send. It's about being respectful and understanding that the person on the other end is human too. We've also dived into the etiquette of texting in various scenarios, whether it's a casual chat with a friend, a formal business conversation, or a heart-to-heart with a loved one. Each situation demands a different approach. In essence, texting is a balance. It's about expressing yourself while also respecting the boundaries and feelings of the other person. With these tips in mind, you'll never find yourself at a loss for words again. Happy texting!